Good morning, everybody. This is O.G.Starwars, and let's get started. So make sure you have your morning cup of joe, your caf, your tea, your eye opener, and tell me what you're drinking in the comments while we wait here for others to drop in. Good morning. Good morning. I am your Legends girl trying to make it in this discounting world, and there's a lot of news out there. So again, share with me what's your choice of drink today, this morning, and we will get started. All right, so let's see who we have in the chat. So far, I have a couple of people that said good morning way before the show started, and I thank you for coming in and saying good morning. And we have Darth Mortis with good morning, and Grobnob the Troll. Hi, the only novels I've read are Tales of the Bounty Hunter and the Bounty Hunter trilogy. I am a big Boba Fett fan. Oh, awesome. So we're going to discuss that as well. So let's wait a couple more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put this on Twitter. Hi. I'm going to put this on Twitter. Let everyone know that we are live. So grab your coffee and let's get this going. Let's get this started. All right. Okay. So I hope you guys all had a great morning. A great start to your day. Yesterday was a day where I finally had enough with what has been going on with Star Wars or the direction it's been going. I kind of suspected it. Hi, Darth Mortis. Kind of suspected, I knew there was going to be a reboot, but I didn't. I guess I was in denial maybe, or I just didn't know how extensive it was going to be. You always think that a new owner is going to stay true to the original IP, at least for the foundation part of it, of the lore. Not true. Not true. So we're going to talk about that, but also we're going to just discuss Legends because that's where the heart is at. That's where the heart is at, is Legends, the original lore. All right. So first of all, again, good morning. Comment what you guys have for having for your morning drink while you join me. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to read some here. Hi, Nerd Cookies. Good morning. Let's see. We'll start with the chat a little bit since we're getting more engaging here. When I saw Empire at Marble Arc in 1980, they had the costumes in a window on Oxford Street. So I saw Boba Fett in real life. Awesome. That is great. I don't like my lighting. There we go. I'm going to shift here. I put my tribal flag up in the window so I didn't have too much lighting flooding in on one side. And now it's just a balance here. I just need to get more lighting for my studio in general. All right. And then Darth Mortis, JJ, and KK. And it feels like we're doing alphabet here, JJ, KK. Sorry, I have to laugh about crazy stuff now just to keep sanity, right? So I have a very important question, and no judgment if you are, but comment a 1 if you're going to go watch The Rise of Skywalker, or if you have tickets already and you're going to go in. We only have a few in the chat. I understand it's morning time. That's okay. But are you guys going to go see Rise of Skywalker? And today I'm wearing Empire Strike Back sweatshirt. So it's kind of chilly in my office. It doesn't heat up very well sometimes. All right. So myself, I'm not going to go see it. And it is very, very interesting on everything that's coming out, all the spoilers, even interviews from, hi, Ryan. You're going to pirate. Yeah, so it's very interesting how we have the spoilers that are being revealed that are basically, revealed as true as it's being reported. And let's see. Damn. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's get into something I found this morning and I shared on my Twitter. And it's about the interview at the premiere. I guess it's the premiere with all the actors and actresses and JJ and KK. So let's get with that. So I'm going to post this up here. Whoops. Okay. And this is a very interesting. So we're going to expand on that and then move on. So let me get it here. Here it is. Let me open it up bigger so we can all see.
JJ とキャスリンさんにお伺いしたいんですけれども、ルーカスは、7から9の放送を得て、エピソード1でミディクロリアンという生物を想像しました。でそして、ファンの多くの人たちというのは、ルーカスの作家性とそのメッセージ性に惹かれてこの作品をずっと見続けてきました。で、最初にルーカスはこれらの脚本を出した時にキャステリンさんは、これをボツにされたそうなんですけれども、今後こういったルーカスが過去に書いた脚本というものを、今後のサーガに生かすことはあるんでしょうか。
Now just wait for it.
かつてゲームフォーサンリストというのはジョージ・ルーカスが監修されたんですけれども、こちらを再びカノンに戻すことは予定としてあったりされますか。よろしくお願いします。
Question for JJ and Kathleen. Lucas has entrusted you with 7 to 9, and in the very first script that Lucas has written, of course, all the world loves the authorship of George Lucas and the world that he created. There was the mythic groaning that was written in the script, and I think, Kathleen, you once did away, or you didn't accept the first script that came, and because Lucas had written some parts of this saga, and also he's written a book. And would it be part of the Star Wars canon in the future?
Well, actually, George Lucas never wrote a script for 7, 8, or 9. And the ideas that I think you're referencing are ideas that he had for other possible movies. They were small summaries that represented some thoughts and ideas, but he never wrote any screenplays.
All right. So imagine that. So basically, Kennedy just lied out of her ass, saying that he never gave them any script or anything for our treatments for 7, 8, and 9. However, when you look into Bob Iger's book, he even states there was, and that they didn't want to use it. That basically they betrayed George Lucas on that. And did you see how much Kennedy and JJ shifted when this question was being asked? You know, they know they're in hot water, and that is why, George wasn't there. Whether, there is leaks of the invitations of who showed up at the premiere. And of course, George didn't show up. So if he didn't show up because he wasn't truly invited, if the leak was true, then that's telling. But what is telling overall is the fact that he didn't show up. He did not show up at all. And then you hear this interview, and then if you look at the actors and actresses, they either shift away from Kennedy, they look around like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Or they smirk. If you see Daisy's face and she smirks right at JJ, that's very, very telling. So yes, so that was very interesting. And I seen that first thing in the morning as I was getting up, and I had to share, because, this is the state of Star Wars right now. This is the state of the Disney Star Wars. And what is, I guess you could say, glorious about this, in a sense, if you want to look at it in a positive way, is that we still have legends. And right now, we're in a kind of a sense of a parallel universe, which Star Wars was never a parallel universe. And so what I mean by parallel universe is now that we have legends. And so we have legends now to rely on for good source material. And I say that not kindly, but I say that wholeheartedly, that it's the source material that they had to build upon. Yeah, they are cherry picking. And if you notice all the spoilers, and I've been getting clips in my DMs of Rise of Skywalker's coming from the actual theaters, the premiere that people have been sending me. And JJ was stating, oh, well, I'm going to show you force powers that, you know, you've never seen before. How, you know, and yeah, we haven't seen them on screen, but they were in the books. They were in Legends. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments here. Let's engage. John Boyega, he be like, F this stuff. Yep. Soon as I end my contractual obligation, I want to be in normal films. And that's truly, truly sad. That's, you know, and it had to come to this. And truth is going to be told even more and more. And after, you know, the first 2 weeks after contract, however long they have them under contract to not speak against or not go against the IP, basically, truth be told. And we know Mark Hamill, he has trolled Disney Star Wars before. All right. Okay, hard to hear. So it wasn't that loud on my screen. Yeah, so basically what the interviewer stated is that she basically said or asked, are you going to honor George's material? Are you going to one day use the information, the script that he gave you, the treatment that he gave you? And that's when everybody started shifting. They were uncomfortable. KK and JJ basically looked like deer caught in the headlights kind of expression. And then Kennedy basically stated he didn't give us treatment, our scripts, or anything regarding 7, 8, and 9. But when you go back and you see like everybody, YouTubers, Star Wars YouTubers who covered this, Bob Iger's basically, I call him his confession book. He states that they were given a treatment for 7, 8, and 9. They just didn't want to use it. And so George felt betrayed. And so KK is lying out of her ass. She is lying out of her ass. And I just spilled some of my coffee. Damn it. Okay, breathe, Alora. Let's go here. Poor Boba, he had an ignorable and flying across the puppet on strings and falling in a sandy. Yeah, we'll get into the Bounty Hunter Wars here pretty soon. I just wanted to cover that. I thought that was very interesting, something that came out that is very, very telling, and it goes along with George not being there and how you know that they are going through shit right now. They know what they did, and that's why we see a big, huge campaign on Star Wars with all these little, you know, clips going out, trying to get people to go buy and watch. All right. Yeah. So this is Grobnob. Yeah, I was watching the empty seats thing. It doesn't look good, and they're not even opened properly. Damn it. Oh, let me see. Look good, and they're not. Okay, I already read that. 40 hours from the opening. Well, I have all the regular people reviews, as well as fan opinions. And when you look at like Rotten Tomatoes, which is very controversial, you know, when we had Marvel come out, or Captain Marvel, and then also with The Last Jedi, and how they basically said fans were Russian bots and they're trolling and all this other stuff, and they changed their format a little bit, and now you see The Rise of Skywalker, it's like 58, I think, or 57. So, and it's in the rotten part of the meter right now. And so that's very, very telling. And that's just the professional critics. So I'm excited to see everything go down today in the next few days on what's going to be revealed with that. Hi, Soul Assassin. How are you doing? Hi, Tommy. And I just, you know, I like to be fun with everything in my channel. And so I just basically knighted Tommy and one of my Jedi Knights, are my moderators for my channel. All right. Greetings. All right, let's scroll down here. What's your favorite lightsaber choreography? Oh, in the movies? I understand that we get in the prequels Jedi fighting in their full ability, So we get to see that. And in the OT, you know, we don't, because the Jedi are almost extinct and Luke is coming in as a Jedi now in Return of the Jedi. I still favor Luke and Vader's fight in Return of the Jedi. I do like Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan as well. And so, but I do favor Return of the Jedis, you know, so, and then, you know, just looking at the PT with the choreography and the, and how well the actors rehearsed and even got, you know, a little bit of training, like fencing, just professional training, choreography, all that, and how well they trained for the PT for those the saber duels. It's amazing. But then it's also amazing to see how well it was put together in the original trilogy, and to see how, you know, going back in time, how Jedi are supposed to, you know, duel with the sabers and their force ability. So it's all very interesting. I love that. I love it. Okay. Yes, I agree. George knows they ruined it. And I would love to see hear basically what he has to say. You know, I'm big on sharing his interviews that he's done since the buyout, and how heartbroken he sounds. And I truly, you know, he did get a lot of money for it, yes, but he did it to keep the franchise going. He was retiring, and yeah, maybe he could have still kept it in house and still overseen it and been in the background. But I don't think that's George. I think that he would have still been involved. I think he wanted to retire, and he wanted to give it to an organization. I wouldn't even call Disney an organization, but a company, a corporate that would honor the IP. And so he had a lot of faith and now we see it going down the drain, you know. And again, I seen this coming when Legends was, or EU was coined Legends, and I was like, okay, they're gonna reboot some of this, you know, but I was still kind of hopeful that they would keep to the original foundation, the 6 movies. And it doesn't look like they retcon Anakin's chosen one status. They retcon it. Think about that. And that's not going to sit well. And so even some of the casual moviegoers who knows just the 6 movies and what's coming out now with Disney Star Wars, it's not going to sit well with them either. It's not. And so Disney, Bob Iger, and I did a video on this, basically said, I want to make Star Wars now for not the hardcore fans, basically, but for the common moviegoers. Well, these common moviegoers are now gonna see what's going on and not care for what's coming out. So only time will tell. Only time will tell. And they call it Skywalker Saga, but I've never seen it that way. I always seen it as one continuous story, history, lore in a galaxy far, far away. And I never seen the movies separate from the EU, and I never seen the Skywalker separate from the EU as well, or the overall story, the overall history. So now they're calling it Skywalker Saga because they're rebooting and they want to do their own thing. So they're done with that story. Now they're going to do their own stuff. Okay. Hi, Chief Eddie. How are you doing? So anybody that came in so far, hello. Brian, the observer. Hello. Stephanie, how are you doing, lovely? How are you doing? And hello. Your eyes can deceive. Don't trust them. Yep. And that's where my heart stays, is with Legends. And that's what this channel is all about. And so I'm welcoming anybody who wants to subscribe and continue with the original lore of Star Wars. And that's including the 6 movies. And to come in and join me on live chats. Let's talk about Legends. We will still talk about Star Wars news, but that's not the main focus. That's why I don't do a lot of, like, every single day, do a lot of posting on Star Wars news on my channel. And I know everybody loves drama. They love to see what's going on in the news and all that. And I understand that, and I will post occasionally, but my channel is mostly on Legends, and it's mostly of the heart of Star Wars. And that's Legends to me. That's Legends. And so I hope that you guys will stay with me as long as we can keep this channel going, because I think this is a beautiful thing. I think Legends is, and there's so many stories. There's games, there's comics, there's the novels, there's the movies. I mean, there's so much to expand on. There's characters. George and his team were brilliant, and how much they expanded this lore, how many characters they brought in, how much world building they did. There's worlds, there's ships. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we can talk about and just geek out about with Star Wars, and it's amazing. And so this is where it's at right now. I heard, what did I say? Okay, Darth Mortis. I heard her saber is rainbow now. Oh, no, it's not. And I joked about it because, again, I got basically clips from the premiere, people recording the actual movie, and then I got them in my DMs from a few people on clips from the movie. And at the end, and this is spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what the hell's going on already, because basically all the leaks that came out were basically spoilers. If that's how much people don't give a shit, okay? And so basically her lightsaber is yellow, or a golden yellow, and so I call it her piss lightsaber. And basically she took her piss lightsaber and stirred the pot in Star Wars and ruined and tainted everything and declared herself a Skywalker. So the Rise of Skywalker has no Skywalkers. All of them are dead. All of them are dead now, but she basically now associates herself as a Skywalker. This is the normal we're having. Like, you can now say I'm a cat and be a cat, I guess. So this is the state of our, of today, and it's reflecting in the movies, and it's not what we want. We want our fantasy. We want our escapism. We don't want reality in our movies. Let me see. But is Meko Star Wars canon? I don't know. I only I will research novels, but I won't read them, like to compare and contrast between the new lore and the old lore when I do some like reviews and stuff. So some of the stuff I'm still learning, which is staying in, or they're taking into canon, and which they're still keeping legends. And one book that I was looking at, and I think it's called Rise of the Resistance at Barnes and Nobles. And so I looked at the timeline for all the novels, because, classic Star Wars or Legends basically has the timelines of the novels only in their books in order. So I looked in there, and so Disney's doing the same thing with Star Wars. So they're keeping that kind of, so it looks like they're trying to keep continuity, and we'll get to that here in a couple minutes because I have some issues on that as well. They have their own timeline. So now the Clone Wars of Filoni's is officially canon. We knew that was coming. It's not Legends anymore, but it is quasi-canon because there's still a lot of material in there that also are Legends. So that's very, very interesting what they're going to do. So are they going to cherry pick and bring all that material in the Clone Wars that's Legends into canon and reinvent it, which is basically disheartening in a sense, because they're reinventing these characters. They're not going to be the same character arc. They may not look the same because, when Filoni did the Clone Wars, he did change some appearances on some. But that's another story. So we're not going to get the same legend characters as we have before. All right, let's look at the Rosetta. I'm trying, feel like crap. You know what? I'm going to message you in a little bit, okay? And check on you, darling, okay? Hugs to you, darling. I'm going to message you in a little bit, okay? Grub knob. And Ray is like a tramp who salvages rubbish. Sorry, I have to laugh at this crazy shit. All right. So Ray is like a tramp who, let me see, where is it again? She's suddenly fighting. Sorry, I'm losing it because this is funny. She's fighting Sith Lords and flying the Falcon. They messed it all up. Yes, and now she can embody all the Jedi, and Palpatine can embody all the Sith. And and another spoiler basically is that what's keeping Palpatine alive is that he has all the Sith in him from the past. So like if you want to go back to KOTOR, all the Sith from that time, if in a sense, if you want to, go in the timeline and kind of get a sense of what they're saying. And so that's why he's alive. But how in the hell did he friggin' survive the implosion? It exploded from the inside out. He fell down that reactor shaft down there. What did he do? Drop onto the Falcon and hold on? What the hell? So I mean, I don't know. And so they are going to have to do a lot of explaining in their EU. And so that's why I call it the explain universe. It's not expanded anymore because they're not expanding on it. They are explaining it. Hi, Lorena. How you doing, darling? Disney is pissing on the burnt ashes of what they killed. It's grotesque. I agree. And I was going to hold off. I wasn't going to even talk about it. I was just going to watch it all go down because I suspected it. And, yesterday, what did I see? Oh, I seen the crawl, the ending crawl of all the Force users that spoke to Rey. And I shared it on my Twitter and I had enough. I said, okay, I just need to talk. I just need to get it out. I can't hold on to this no more. Yeah, I know where my heart's at. I know the state of Star Wars. I knew this shit was going to happen. But, you don't know the extent of it until it really, really happens. And you don't know the extent of the retcon until it really, really happens. And I think there's a lot of us that felt that they were still going to hold on to the foundation of the movies and at least keep to that. But no, they ruined the Skywalker legacy. Everything that happened in the OT and the PT basically done. It's not relevant anymore. And so these Force ghosts that spoke to Rey, basically about a few of them weren't even alive when Obi-Wan and Yoda got taught by Qui-Gon during or like at the end of Return or Revenge of the Sith and going forward. When Yoda talks to Kenobi and says, I have more training and basically it's your master, he blah, 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 so basically they are having anybody can be a Force ghost now, which basically is an ability. It's your level of strength in the Force if you can even do that. And that's expanded on in the novels, in the legends. And so like Mace Windu came as a Force ghost or a Force spoke through the Force, and that's still a Force ghost ability. You still have to learn that ability, and they weren't around when that was taught. And so that's another hint that that's all getting retcon. And you can be a Jedi or you can be a Force user, you can do this, and it's just like handing out participation awards. All right, let me scroll up here and see what's going on. I released a clip of Jedi with Palpatine using the Force Mary Poppins power to fly from the Death Star explosion. They fly now. Yes, I did see a clip or someone do a meme with Palpatine flying away from the exploding Death Star. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how the hell they're going to explain this. It's just garbage now. It's garbage. Yes, a good entertainment where basically you have escapism, you have fantasy, and you don't have to think about what's going on in real life today, and you can enjoy something that takes you out of reality and takes you into that world. I get it. All right, Benjamin Keith. Hi, Benjamin. How are you doing? It was two explosion when he hits the reactor energy. 5 minutes later, DS2 blows up. Then it's fall from space through a atmosphere into ground at hundreds of miles per hour. Okay, so yeah, ever since I seen the very first clip of this part, like a third of the Death Star, maybe a fourth of the Death Star, surviving the implosion, we see basically it shot to stardust. Yeah, there are going to be small residual pieces, out there. That's common, but something that size is surviving. It's not believable to me. And I've been in debates with some people about this, and that's fine. I respect other people's opinions, as long as it's constructive and we have a coherent and respectful conversation about it. But when you see it in the movies, the Death Star 2 exploding or imploding, basically it's basically, you know, stardust. And like I said again, if there's any fragments existing, it's not as big as we've seen. And so Disney Star Wars invented a new moon of Endor for the Death Star to fall onto. And I think it's called Kif Bur. And I've been doing research on this Endor, the planet of Endor, and it does have 9 moons, and only 2 were named. The forest moon of Endor, and another one, I don't remember the name now. I don't have it in front of me. But what I'm getting at here is that the only viable moon of Endor is the forest moon, and that's in Legends. So now I guess now another moon, because of the fact that, you know, only 2 were named, but they did say that Endor was the only viable moon of, or the forest moon was the only viable moon of Endor. You know, so now we have Kif Bur, another moon that's viable for life. And so I wanted to expand on that more in my lore and show a contradiction, but basically it's very vague with all the moons, and so they had some leeway in there to create that. All right. Let's go ahead and scroll. Okay, Drunk 3PO, quit posting. All right. Okay, I still have to turn off those notifications. I forget. Force ghosts can only pop up occasionally, not do mad stuff. And that's the thing. And so Force ghosts are not really supposed to have too much involvement like in the physical realm. You know, like we do see Obi-Wan Kenobi sit down on that log next to Luke, talking to him about who he is and all that. And so they're saying, well, that's him manipulating the Force. Okay, so yeah, I get that. And so that's, I guess, again, another little loophole Disney can take and say, now Luke can catch his lightsaber, and now Yoda can manipulate the atmosphere and create lightning. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Disney knows nothing. Okay, Grobnob, KK, and JJ are just like kids playing with toys, not dealing with a coherent story or world physics according to established Star Wars lore. Yes, they did break a lot of lore, and again, like I said, with the Force ghosts we're all talking to Rey, and even they have Ahsoka. Yeah, she's a Force ghost now, and she's the one that's encouraging Rey. So you know what that means? She's dead. She's gone. So I wonder how Filoni took that, because that's his baby. Ahsoka's his baby. He went against George. George wanted Ahsoka dead, and he made it to where it was very vague if she died or not in the Clone Wars, and then brought her back in Rebels with that stupid time travel. Yeah, so she's now dead. So now that's got to be explained as well. And also too, how they killed off Leia. How they killed her off. So I'm going to grab a drink. So basically, from what I've seen and heard, she uses the Force. She actually bonds with her son, helps him heal. So Force healing now is, you know, basically canon and in the movie, but we know in Legends it was an ability you could use, but it was only certain people. So it wasn't like a Force power, I guess you can say, or a Force ability that everybody can use. So, you know, like, and we get in Legends, everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses in the Force, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be in the lore. And, you know, like, because not everybody's the same. And if everybody was the same, then there is no chosen one, right? And so she basically bonds with Ben and uses and encourages Ben to Force heal Rey, because she's either dead or dying in the scene. And so he does that. But then we also see, you know, Rey Force heal a worm in a underground caverns that they travel through, I guess. And then also too, she does that to Kylo, I guess, at one point. I'm very vague on that second one. I'm not going to go see it. I'm not going to even do a review on my channel, because that's not what my channel is about. However, I will use material from it later from watching spoilers reviews I will watch those. I don't care. I don't care at this point. Give me all the spoilers you want. I don't care. And then I will do a compare and contrast. And I did, like I said before, you guys probably heard me last week when we reviewed it. I did do Inferno, which basically is a parallel to the Disney trilogies with how Luke handles his nephew compared to how Luke handles his nephew in Disney. So you guys, if you haven't watched that review, go watch it. Oh my God, knock it off. I just want to read these ones. All right. The Sith want Disney and KK dead. Yeah, I imagine. But let's not, yeah. That's funny though. I'm sorry. I have to laugh at all this crazy shit. We all have to laugh at this crazy shit, okay? To keep sane. All right, Benjamin. Hell, the PT makes no sense the moment the Clone Wars existed. I know. And so when Filoni decided to introduce Mortis and then go the route of Anakin's supposed to be the chosen one to be as the father, that was in a sense trying to retcon the chosen one as well. And I didn't sit well with that either. And later on, that was being retconned to correct the course of that as well. I really don't think that Anakin was to be the father. I just believe that he was the chosen one in general and basically can handle anything. That's how I see it. Yes. Love louder with Crowder. All right. Yes, Crowder. He's amazing. I was watching some of his stuff earlier. When I prep for my live chats, like especially this one, I will listen to non-Star Wars stuff as I get my materials and stuff going and just catch up on what's going on in the world or just listen to silly stuff and then get ready for you guys. So that's a bit of behind the scenes as well. Okay. And by the prick of my thumb, something Disney this way come. Okay. Woo, you guys are moving quick here. Awesome. We have 19 of you guys in here. Thank you so much. I understand it's again, it's Thursday morning and everybody works or everybody has to be somewhere or barely getting up. I get up for you guys. Sometimes I'll sleep in if I have a chance. Okay. So stay home and watch Christmas movies. What I'm going to do and what I'm going to encourage everybody else to do, and it's totally up to you. Again, I am not going to judge if you're going to go see this movie. That's your money. I don't call for a boycott. However, if you don't like what's going on with a certain brand, don't purchase it. Purchase something you like about the brand. So what I'm getting at here is show Disney where our love and interest is. And this is a good time for Legends. This is a good time to show Disney this is what we want. We want our Legends. This is the material we want. And I donated to part of the billboard campaign. 2 billboards are going to be put up near and by Lucasfilm Studios about how we want Legends to be a parallel universe and we want more of Legends. And so now's a good time. And see, this is where this brilliancy of this retcon that they're doing will help out Legends if we do this right. Is spend our money all on Legends material. I am getting ready to get a couple of games now, and I'm going to return back to gaming. Yes, I used to be a gamer. So I'm going to start up a couple of games. And again, like I said before, I want to have gamers on here to help me review some of the games. So, I mean, there's a lot I'm planning out. I mean, it's endless material we have here. There's this whole history and lore of Star Wars, original Star Wars that we can just nerd out and expand on. Okay. O.G.Starwars, obviously Gremlins is the best. Gizmo, the Magua, Baby Yoda in cute department. Okay, so I haven't watched Mandalorian 7 yet. I forgot that it was airing early because of The Rise of Skywalker. And guess what? Baby Yoda, and this is spoilers, so sorry. No, mute me or whatever you want to do. Leave and come back. Whatever you want to do. If you have not watched Mandalorian 7, I do, like I said, I do watch spoilers. I don't care. Even with Mando, and then I go watch it and I do my breakdown. I do a breakdown and I compare and contrast. And, I do get some thumb downs on those videos, but that's okay because that's just my style. That's just what I do is I compare and contrast the Disney material to the original lore. And that's including Mandalorian. And yeah, Mandalorian, I would say, is a little bit of hope for those who still want to stick with Disney. And it's a good flick to watch considering it's not, original lore, so but I will still compare and contrast. So basically what I'm getting at is that Baby Yoda heals. And I see this as a way, and many do that see this as this too, is a way to validate the Mary Sue and her healing abilities. Because now Baby Yoda did it. So is Baby Yoda Mary Sue now? Okay. Benjamin. Oh, where did it go? Did I lose it? Oh. Okay, I'm fired. I lost it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Wait, Couture 2. Couture 2, but play it both ways as once isn't enough to comprehend it fully. You need to do both light and dark. Interesting. Okay. I figured you weren't a Republican liking louder with Crowder. I thought most of my native friends, which Chippewa and Choctaw and Shanti, aren't political. That I'm not Republican? You figured I'm not Republican, or are you being sarcastic? Amy mateys. Hey. All right. So Mando 7 is pretty cool. Baby Yoda force chokes at that car. Oh, okay. So I didn't hear that part. I haven't watched it yet. Again, I don't mind spoilers. I will give props where props due. Chow basically so far is the best director, producer that within the Mandalorian series. So she even outshines Filoni, but Filoni's never done live. And yeah, I understand, doing animation is different than doing live. But if you're good at one, you're not going to be good at the other. Even if one may be a little bit more simpler to do than other, you still have to have that experience. He doesn't have that experience. All right. Yes, I'm going to watch it tonight too. All right, so Grob Knob. The Force existed before the Sith or Jedi discovered and trained in its use. Baby Yoda is a natural user. Luke, prior to Ben, meets him as just a fair plot pilot. Okay, so I don't understand the last one. Luke, prior to Ben meeting him, is just a fair pilot. Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. What being natural in the Force means to me, and when you expand on Legends, this makes more sense, is that every Force user, like if you're a Force sensitive, basically, you have innate abilities. So basically it's instincts. And you may have the ability to lift something purely out of instinct or whatever. And we do see in the lore that babies lift their little toys or whatever, but that you don't remember everything as a baby. And so that ability just leaves because you don't practice it. You need training, and it doesn't matter. Look at the Chosen One. He needed training. He just had basic innate instincts to use it to pilot. So that's not it. I don't see that as an excuse for that baby Yoda, or that the Yoda species. We want Disney to fire Jar Jar. Abrams, Kathleen, and yeah, that's the consensus right now. If the Force can heal, then Anakin could have healed Shmi. So yes, big holes. Well, see, that's the thing, is that there is Force abilities that were expanded on, that healing is a part of it. But however, not everybody can do it. It wasn't expanded in the movies because it wasn't thought of. And that's the only explanation I can see. However, not everybody can use it because it's a huge innate thing. And, so that's could be a hole as well. Should it stay in the EU? I don't know, but it was expanded really well in Legends. no sarcasm. I know you live in Plains and it's more conservative, but I remember you said your class was discussing impeachment, and I just assumed, oh, that's okay. We're not going to talk about politics here. We're going to talk about Star Wars, though. But yes. Oh, hello. There we go. Baby Yoda trying to cover up for Rey. All in all, he really wanted to heal the fan base. Okay. Yes, but Baby Yoda is using innate, and that is the trap. Like I said, force ability, when you look at Legends, and even lifting things, when you look at Legends, you have to be trained to do that, like lifting big things. And we see Luke fail at that with the X-Wing. So I don't see that as an innate ability, because if it is, then this also breaks the canon with Anakin as a chosen one. But however, he is not the chosen one no more. Have you guys seen that? Rey is now the chosen one. Basically, Anakin and says, I basically grants her the chosen one now. Like he gives, yeah. So it's disgusting. But a 50-year-old child, this is not a child. This is a baby. Yeah, it's a baby. And we are now writing the script for the producers, for the story. We shouldn't have to write the script for them. And so, we could debate about this, and that's fine. This is how I feel. That's how you feel, or that's how you see this is how I see this. And that's fine. But I don't believe a baby can learn those abilities at that stage. If that's the case, then in the PT, we should have all kinds of like strong force user children that could fight off Anakin when he goes and purges the Jedi Temple. That's how I see that. And then it just gives more validation to Rey. It does. And yeah, she is a Supergirl, and she does fly in there too as well. All right. Sith lies matter the most. All right. Hid his training when he couldn't comprehend. You're back flipping to protect a girl stuffed animal. He's using the force with innate, untrained because he's a baby. I still think that's too much of an innate ability. Again, there are like very mild, and innate is basically very mild use of the force and instinct. And so are we saying that Rey's mind tricks innate? So this now make Rey not a Mary Sue? So the debate is now up, because that's how Disney set it up, the debate. What? White patriarch Republicans forming a resistance against the First Order. They must be deplatformed. See, it's just disgusting how this politics and this bullshit that we see in our society going on today is put in our Star Wars. Oh, intent. I'm telling you, I can't read right. I'm tired. OG intent. Sorry, Benjamin. All right. Alien race have all sorts of unnatural talents. Baby Yoda is not Rey. Yes, I know Baby Yoda is not Rey. But the established lore, well, Disney's now retconning. So yeah, but the lore tells you and that you have to have training for such big abilities. And so what I'm saying is, if Baby Yoda can do this, then and he's just that strong and it can be explained away, then Rey's abilities can be explained away then. Oh, that's interesting. Some say Ben's force heals Luke after. That's very, very interesting, because it's something that we see, but it's not told. So, and I totally forgot about that scene. That's interesting. We're gonna have to expand more on that on Twitter. No more politics in Star Wars. All right, so let's go ahead, and since we're coming up on the hour, let's go ahead and expand on the novelization of the Bounty Hunter Wars. And I am doing this in tangent with the Mandalorian series because, you know, in Legends, not in Disney canon, but in Legends, we have Boba Fett. He basically is the model for Mandalorians, and basically his style developed who the Mandalorians are, and he is a Mandalorian. And we get that expanded with his father, Jango Fett, being saved and raised by Jester Morel. And basically the Fetts come from the Mandalorian sector, Concord Dawn, or Concord. And so that's still a Mandalorian territory. And so Jango gets raised in the arts and the culture of Mandalorian. And so he still is Mandalorian. And so we get in this book here Jango's survival of the Sarlacc pits. And so I'm going to play a clip. So if you haven't seen, hi Lorena again, lunch over, looking forward to watching the repeat so I can see what I've missed. Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I love you, darling. All right. So he survives the Sarlacc pit. So I'm going to go ahead and play that clip of him explaining. We'll get into more of that book and how he feels as a bounty hunter, and that will go in contrast with what the Mandalorian is doing in the Mandalorian series as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that clip. I'm going to try to turn this up to make sure we can hear it better. Okay. So here we go. So this clip is Boba Fett's survival, and this has Dengar, who discovers him.
Vision his agony-fractured brain was about to conjure up. There were others he knew here in the belly of the beast. He had seen them fall and be swallowed up. He might as well hallucinate voices from those about to be digested. It would help pass the long, endless hours before his own body's atoms floated free from one another. One of the voices he heard was his own. No. What happened? Sarlacc swallowed me. The words seemed to come of their own volition. I killed it. Blew it up. Hang on, came the hallucinated voice.
All right, so that's basically an explanation on how he survives the Sarlacc pit. I also see his armor is what helped him as well, because, you know, basically there's that digestive enzymes and all that disintegrates their prey quick, or not quick, but yeah, it really starts breaking down their tissue and everything. And so Dengar finds him. Dengar goes back to the Great Pit of Carkoon to salvage around what is left of Jabba's wreckage to see if he can find any vital information left as a bounty hunter and as a person that, you know, gathers information. And he does discover Boba Fett. He is already out of the Sarlacc pit and basically lying in near death. Yeah, this is the Bounty Hunter Wars, Max. So we're talking about the Bounty Hunter Wars. Good morning, Max. How you doing? Yes, this is the one with Shizor, laugh out loud, and that spider middleman. The contractor gets undone by a little accountant droid spider, but this was a good series. Laugh out loud. The poor guild had no chance. Yeah, so we're doing book 1 right now. So we see how what Boba Fett thinks about the guild and why at first he doesn't want anything to do with it, and how they bring him into the guild, especially with Caesar. And this has flashbacks. So this happens between we get the here and now, which is basically during Return of the Jedi. And then we have flashbacks going all the way back to A New Hope with the story of Fett and the Bounty Hunter Guild and everything that's going on in that general storyline. And so we get Vader, we get Palpatine, we get Caesar, we get Dengar, we get some of the dancers and their stories from Jabba's palace. And, you know, and a lot more expansion. Book 2 is going to be coming out Tuesday of the series. And so we get Prince Shizor, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, wanting to strengthen the guild so that they can use the guild basically to penetrate and get rid of the Republic, what is it called again? I stated this in the thing there, the Alliance to Save the Republic or whatever that we see in the PT, and get rid of the rebels. So now we're going to go ahead and compare and contrast with the Mandalorian. Now we see the Mandalorian as basically a mercenary. He doesn't want to give up the baby. He wants to do the right thing. So, and he goes against the Bounty Hunters Guild. And we've seen that from the second movie on. And so we're going to go ahead and hear what Boba, and see, Boba's a no-nonsense person. So let's hear what he has to say about who he is as a bounty hunter. Okay, let's find that clip. Oops, let me go ahead and get that screen back up. Share. All right. Okay, so the second clip here. Where is it at? Boba Fett's dedication. I think this is the one here.
Business. Some entity had to act as the universe's go-between and intermediary, especially among all the world's criminal elements and those who did business with criminals. If there had ever been a time when there had been honor among thieves, it was long over in this galaxy. Boba Fett had never cheated any of his clients, though he had been forced to kill quite a few. If everybody had held to his standards of business morality, there wouldn't have been any need for an operator like Kuda.
And I'm going to go ahead and play another clip because that was a shortened version of what I was wanting to play. Here we go.
The Hutts and all my other clients, they pay me the kind of bounties they do because of one thing: I deliver. Once I've caught my prey, nothing stops me from bringing it in. Nothing. If I take on a job, I complete it, and everyone in the galaxy knows that. But I've heard of other bounty hunters who will cut a deal. Other bounty hunters may conduct their business as they please. Fett barely managed to keep from his voice the contempt with which he held the so-called Bounty Hunters Guild's members. That kind of short-sighted greed was one of the reasons he had no desire to associate himself with the guild.
All right, so that's Boba's take on the guild and how he operates as a bounty hunter. He's no nonsense. So imagine if this was Boba Fett in The Mandalorian and they kept to the lore, he would have handed over that baby. He would have handed over that baby species of Yoda and said, here you go, I'm done. And so because it's Disney, I see it unfolding the way it is because of who Disney is and their entity. And so you guys go ahead and expand on that and I will share. When Mando breaks his contract with the Imperial Remnant and the guild, all his buddies show up like a cavalry. Before that, he was dissed for sharing a table with the Empire. Yeah, and so yeah, because we see in the Disney lore that, you know, the Purge, you know, what happened with the Purge and how the Mandalorians went into hiding from the Empire, which, again, you know, I've debated on this as well. I don't see the Mandalorians going into hiding. They're not the kind of people, but that's comparing legends. That's comparing apples to oranges, basically. Boba Fett is the man. Yes, he is. Black Sun in the Clone Wars, for those not following me, Shizor's organization. Yeah, so Black Sun, not only in the Clone Wars, but before the Clone Wars as well. Xizor is basically the sole proprietor to the Black Sun, and that's even in Shadows of the Empire. And that's a good one, and I want to review that here soon as well. I mean, there's so many great ones, and I'm not going in order, but I will give you guys information on where it lands in the timeline. And that's one that's a huge favorite of everybody. And I'm thinking of starting off with that game. I'm not sure yet, though. I'm also thinking about Jedi Academy. We shall see. What do people think of Boba's being inserted into episode 4 in special edition are touching a dancer's chin in episode 6? In episode 6. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm still waking up. Myself, I don't have any problems with the special editions. I never have. I've seen all the versions from the original cut when it came out to the special editions. And I will say this as an artist, because I know there's some people are upset with the special editions and they want the originals, and I love the originals as well. Is as an artist, and George Lucas is the artist, he's the creator. He has every right to go in and make changes to keep continuity in a sense. And whether we like it or not. And it doesn't hurt the overall plot of the story. It doesn't hurt anything when it comes to the protagonists and all that. And yes, again, I have debated with people on that, and that's fine, because again, we all have our own likes and dislikes within what we like about Star Wars. I'm not expecting everybody to have the same opinion as me. So, all right. Max, dang guys, I've missed out on this trilogy. I need to check it out. Yes, go watch my review on the Bounty Hunter Wars book 1, Mando Armor. And and go and then go get the book or the Audible. The Audible is abridged, so that means it's just sticking to the plot. So some things are taken out and it's shortened. And then from there, or just get the book or do both. And come back and have that conversation with me in YouTube. That's what I'm here for. So, you can tell me, hey, I agree with this, or I've seen it this way. Because there's, when people talk to me about the books and about the lore, and they may have a different insight than me, it just helps me look at it a different way. And that's what this is about, is discovering something that I may or you may have missed. Okay, Brian. Okay. O.G.Starwars, Boba's philosophy is similar to that of Angel Eyes from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah, I see that. Okay, Max. Okay, that's to Benjamin. That's to Benj. Okay. I have the definitive edition laser disc in CAV boxed and CLV face. Okay. You know what? I found a great steal on the OT. I found original versions of it on VHS at a discount store so I have that. I haven't opened them. I haven't even watched them. I'm just leaving as is. Hey, Stiggs. Played Jedi Knights 2 before Academy. Academy is part 2 of the story, kind of. Okay. And we will expand more on that later. I still have to purchase that stuff. All right, will do, OG. Awesome. Also, the 80s version disc and UK Pally Special Edition laser disc. Oh, you have a great collection going on there. Awesome. Plus, all the DVDs, I prefer old versions before they change them. And that's good. That's great. Watch what you love. Watch what you love. Well, Dark Forces 2, this is Benjamin again. Oh, this is at Sticks. I'm going to read it anyways, because I still haven't decided what I'm going to play or whatever. And let me see. Begin Katarn's Jedi Journey. It does. I love Katarn. Outcast is his ESB, and Academy his Return of the Jedi. So if you want the full Kyle Katarn trilogy, all right. So, whoever's gonna go, if you have your own channel and you do your own reviews on Star Wars, are just basically in entertainment, I am happy to go and watch your review. Like I said, I don't mind spoilers. I'm not gonna go see it. And I can't wait till Mueller comes out with his review. I mean, if you watched him just tear down The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, it's hilarious. So I can't wait till he comes out with his review of that. And I, like I said, I may expand and all that on that. So the next lore for Tuesday is going to be Bounty Hunter Wars Book 2. And that's Slave 1. So that's that's Boba's, that's the Fett ship. So so it's titled after that. I'm not going to talk about that one right now. So stay tuned. Watch the review when it comes out. It's going to be posted Tuesday. I always encourage the Audible. If you don't have time to sit down and read the book before Thursday, if you haven't read it yet, get the Audible. It's a great listen. You can put it on. And I wish I can get like sponsorship from them, because I'm always saying get Audible on top of the books. But hey, it's just a great way to get into the lore as well. I always recommend read the books too if you are going to get Audible, because there are some things you're going to miss. However, if you don't have the time and you want to get into it right away, Audible is a great way to get started and then go back and read the book. So go in reverse from what I recommend. Hi, Chaos 7, how you doing? And go from there. So book 2, The Bounty Hunter Wars, Slave Ship. And you can get started on it right now. Get the book. Again, purchase Legends. Show Disney where our money is going, and it's going towards Legends, the original lore. And so go to your Barnes & Nobles, go to your secondhand stores or bookstores or whatever. See if they have the books there. Even if you find it without the banner, that's fine. If you buy stuff in Barnes & Nobles, then you're also showing where the money's going with Disney when it comes to the lore, and purchase that. Okay, let's go ahead and read some more. Hell, that's going to be so much work for Mahler. There's like 100 errors in every scene. Yes, it's going to probably be in a few parts, I guess. And he is brilliant with that. He is so brilliant with it, and I just adore what he does with his channel and how he does his reviews and how sarcastic he is. So if you like sarcasm in a review, when they break something down and point out the obvious, I recommend, and if you haven't seen his reviews for The Force Awakens and, The Last Jedi and the other movies, go watch him. I go to his channel, go watch him. It is brilliant. He is amazing. You see different versions, more like the actual cinema in the 70s when you watch a 35 millimeter print transferred into, oh yeah, of course, yes. All right. Indeed. Have a good week. I lost my starboard engine. I can't stay with you. Sorry. Enjoy your day, folks. All right, Benjamin, you have a good day. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for, chatting back and forth with me about Baby Yoda. And it's just, I love it. Like I said, I love to debate and talk about that stuff, because I like to hear other people's point of views on how they take the lore and how they translate it. So thank you so much. Be well. With the special editions, George changed the contrast colors and messed with the noise reduction. Yeah, he did take and made it watchable still today. And the OT is timeless, no matter which version of it you watch. And what I mean by version is basically the special edition versus the original cut. And no matter what, it's timeless. And Disney, this new stuff is not timeless anymore. He's kind of changed it into something else, even aside from the new CGI inserted bits. I want Mueller, Jeff, and Anna to debate some collider shills. What a slaughter. Yes, that would be fun to watch. That would be really, really fun. And I held back on coming and ranting yesterday. I was running around. I wasn't home, so I wasn't able to go on live stream, but I posted on Twitter a long tweet about how I felt. And I was like, this would have been awesome to come online, do my live stream, and just tell you guys what I'm thinking at this moment. So I haven't done a full rage rant yet, and I don't know if I ever will, but if I do, I think it's going to be awesome because I was pissed yesterday. Mueller's kind of hardcore. He does multiple parts, 8-hour long of talk downs of the movies, misses nothing. I know. And I've on EFAPs, Max, have a great day, Benjamin. Stig, gotta go in a few. My kid is popping over for a few days. Got dad duty for a while. And that's amazing, Stig. Enjoy your son. Have fun with him. It's always great to have family, have your kids, have your family with you when you can. Critical drinker is more level. Go away now. I like watching his too. He's hilarious. Critical drinker, he is. Yeah, it will happen, and I'm pretty sure you will see me go full out. Like I said, my channel's mostly just Legends material, and so I keep it that way, but I'm pretty sure you'll see me come on here. I mean, like, what the fuck is going on? And expand on that some more. And it probably would be epic because you guys you've never seen me that way before. So it'd be very interesting to see your guys' take on that. All right. I bet UKK was why Rilo happened. Maybe. I mean, she has a lot of say in what's being produced. She has to approve the scripts and the stories and everything. And so that's a no-brainer. That's a no freaking brainer. Okay. And boasting that she listened to fans. And I read someone's review saying that they brought Luke back, like his mentality of who he was back when they brought him back as a Force ghost. Again, I'm not going to watch, so I can't wait for someone to expound on that more. Looking at some JJ's interviews from the past. Oh. It is clear that he wanted Luke and Rey to be related. Yeah, when you look at the lightsaber, when the lightsaber calls to her and how she sees flashbacks of mostly Skywalkers, that hints to lineage. It doesn't hint that she's gonna claim Skywalker. It hints to lineage. Yes. I like both special editions and original cut. The Harmy despecialized edition, the Hammy, is that what you mean? Hammy or Harmy? Despecialized edition is coming in the mail today. Awesome. That's like a little gem coming in, right? OG, do you think that Boba will show up in The Mandalorian? People are guessing that he might be. I don't think they're going to bring him back. I don't think so, because he's going to outshine The Mandalorian. Because he's supposed to be the most badass, feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. So as we see in Disney Star Wars, anything that's going to outshine their new characters, they're either not going to bring them back or they're totally going to ruin them and flip them on their head. So I hope they don't bring him in. An OG rant. Yes. Sounds legit, Stig. I would bet you would wind up with Jodo Cost first. Okay. Gotta head off and start my live stream. Okay. Not sure if it's a game you play. You should check it out. If not, as it's a fun game to play. Okay. I will have to check out your live stream and see what that's all about. Where do you stand on Old Republic content if Disney decides to take on Revan movie? I love Legends overall. I love each era and what they contribute to the overall lore and history. However, beware if they bring Old Republic back and they decide to bring Revan into the lore, it's not going to be the same Revan. It's going to piss you guys off because he's not going to have the same arc. And when this was being hinted or talked or debated that Revan's going to come back, I heard that they were going to make Revan a woman, but that's just speculation. So again, don't wish for these legend characters to become canon or into Disney lore because they're not going to make him the same. Thrawn is not the same. He may have some of the same tactical geniuses that we know him as, but his overall arc and lore and how he came about is not the same. So what made us love him is not the same. His overall arc is not the same. Well, okay. I read the first wave of Disney canon. This movie sabotaged those writers. Yes. And so that's what I wanted to expand on. So thanks for reminding me. So we are going over again, and that's okay. I read 2 novels of Disney's EU, Star Wars EU. And what I read first was Heir to the Jedi, which I thought at the time was still Legends, but that book came out during the acquisition of Star Wars by Disney. And so this novel was intended to be part of Legends, but then it was tweaked to fit their canon, to fit their lore. And so you still have what we know Luke as during that time frame. And I think it's after A New Hope. But then you can still see the differences as well. So, and it was okay. It was okay. Then I went and read Bloodlines. And that was the hint. They were going to destroy Han and Leia's relationship. And in that, and this goes to where they have Leia as as a Jedi now. Let me take a drink. So in Rise of Skywalker, she now has a lightsaber. She now helps, or there is a clip, and this CGI clip of Luke and Leia as young. I seen it, and I don't think it's flattering, okay? But that's my opinion. But they do have Luke and Leia training, or Leia training with Luke, and it's their same images, excuse me, that we see in the OT. So it's the same images, their same youthful images. But in Bloodlines, and this Bloodline happens around 28 ABY. So in Bloodline, she tells her history about, her son and sending him off to Luke to train, and how they sensed the dark side, and how Snoke was pursuing her for Ben since she's been pregnant with him. And she also says that she never pursued training because all her commitment was being in the government, being a politician, and that only Luke taught her very small innate telekinesis sensibilities. That's all she went. And so when we look at the timeline, 28 ABY is when that story is told, and you see her reflecting all the way back from Return of the Jedi, and then all the way forward to where Kylo now is, or Ben is now Kylo Ren. She explained she didn't have training. So now they're retconning that book as well. All right. Disney should release a non-special edition. Can't see why they wouldn't. They have no respect for George's wishes. So why stop at killing Luke? Release the Grindhouse editions. And they said they brought in George Lucas to help with development of this movie, and that they had several cuts of it, and they didn't go with his cut. They didn't go with what he recommended. And so that also speaks volumes to probably why George wasn't there as well at the premiere. So should we now say release the George Lucas cut? You know, like release the Snyder cut? Okay. Rey is no Skywalker. She's she's the Jedi Lord of Mir Rey Su. Yes. And we also get her training in there as well. Okay. Chaos. I don't think so because the Mandalorian is Disney's replacement for Boba because it's not why they did it. Lily, go on. All right. If Boba appears in The Mandalorian, they'll probably make him an enemy bounty for the Mandalorian to defeat. Maybe, and then they'll kill him off. And then we have no more Boba, right? O.G.Starwars, the game is mentioned, is a mobile game, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Okay. Yeah. And I have the whole list of the games, and so I will announce that. And I haven't had a chance to announce when I'm going to do my my cocktail chat in the evening. So I'll announce that in a couple minutes. So I'm going to go through here and we're going to start winding down. So thank you guys for holding out with me here on this beautiful Thursday morning. And hopefully you're filling up your coffee here, you know, because you've been here for almost an hour and a half. Cheers to you. I am finally waking up and I still need to feed myself. All right. It sounds like you need to change the battery in your smoke alarm. Yes, I do. I have to get up there. I am a tiny woman and I have to bring in the ladder and it's been like that for a while. So that beeping sound, yeah. All right. Disney should just jump the shark and remake the OT as a musical that they can transfer to Broadway. Oh my God. No. Okay, Stig. They will be cramming a 30-hour video game story into 2-hour movie. Oh yeah, and that's the thing too, is that a lot of reviews are saying that The Rise of Skywalker basically it looks like a video game plot. Not gonna work. If they make Raven movie, they will fuck it up. Yes, they will. And so I say be careful what you wish for because you're not gonna get why you love that character. So you're not gonna get that anymore. I liked Heir to the Jedi. Yeah, like I said, it was fairly good considering that it was supposed to be for Legends, and then they went ahead and made it for and turned it for the new canon. So they did tweak it up, but we still got the same essence of who Lucas really is. So that book kind of gives us the Luke that we see and we know and love because of the time frame. And you know, if we get Legends continued and they allow Legends continue with new books and stuff, just imagine we might be getting Sword of the Jedi if possible. And that story basically should have happened already. If you look at what George wanted for the sequel trilogy and his script that he gave him, and again, this goes back to the interview with George that put everybody on the spot that I showed in the beginning, where a fan asked, are you going to honor George's scripts? Are you going to honor George's legacy? And how much KK and JJ squirmed. And then the actors and the actresses are like, oh shit. You know, they had that expression on their bodies and that smirk on their face. And so what I'm getting at is if they used it, like Bob Iger said, he gave us information, he gave us material, but we didn't use it. If they used it and they played their cards well and they kept Legends, they could expand it and made spin-off movies on all the books, all that material, and then they could have done the sequel trilogy right after Crucible. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't caught my video, and I think there's a few of us had the same mindset as we were putting it out all at the same time, because it makes sense in the lore. Is George wanted to expound on the midichlorians, or the wheels, I'm sorry. And so and also to basically retire Luke and bring out some new, or passing the torch down to the next generation. So how this would fit after Crucible is during that time, Luke is handing the proverbial lightsaber down to Jaina Solo, and then we have Jagged Fell, her husband, and then we have Ben Skywalker. That would have helped bridge the gap between Crucible and Legacy, and also Sword of the Jedi. That would have gave us 3 new protagonists again, because if you look at the lore, each movie has 3 protagonists. Jaina would have, Ben and Jaina, would have been, the Jedi. We would have seen who would become Master, who would become, and I'm guessing maybe Ben, since when you look at Legacy era, Jaina is now a Fel, and she creates the Imperial Knights, I guess it's called again. Yes. And so they are a sister faction to the Jedi. And goes from there. So we would have seen that. It would have bridged it beautifully. And we would have seen Luke go off and, look for Mortis, maybe look for the dagger to defeat Abeloth, him retiring and maybe even passing away, because we don't have a date when he passes away, but he does pass away according to Legacy, of course. And we could have got all that. So we could have got Luke, finishing up his arc, passing down, passing everything on to a new generation. We could have had Han and Leia see their success raising Alana Solo and see what happens with her, especially when you see what Jason Solo goes through on trying to make sure that his daughter doesn't turn to the dark side and is not on that throne. And if you have not read Legacy of the Force, I suggest go read it. And again, I did do a review on book 6. However, I will start from book 1 here soon and go from there as well. Again, I have so many plans. So yeah, so it's like one at a time, Allure, one at a time. But yeah, and so that would have fit perfectly, and it would have made a lot more sense. And but no, we got what we got because they wanted to make, Rey the chosen one. Do away with Anakin's, chosen one status and the Skywalker legacy. Is it possible to release the Grindhouse cut? Oh, okay, I reread that one. Okay. Oh, Biden's here. Hello, Biden Touch. How are you doing? Okay, let's read this. Keanu Reeves as Raven, but also have Darth Malak as Alex Winter, destroying the Jedi and Mandalorian Empire. Excellent. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just sounding really nice, am I? All right. Well, we'll get our version of our characters back. We just started this fight. Yeah. And again, even if it's just we get Legends continued in its own parallel universe, I'm fine with that. I am fine. I would love to read Sword of the Jedi. I was so excited about it. I wanted to see Jaina's story expanded. I wanted to see where Ben, because Ben would be in there too. I wanted to see Ben Skywalker, where he goes, as well as Jagged Fell and Jaina's relationship and how they start their family and how they start the Fell Empire. Because Han Solo is like, you're not going into the Empire, are you? If you ever read the stories, that Han was kind of teetering on. It kind of didn't like the range between Jaina and Jagged at first because he's Imperial. But he also was raised by Chiss too, or in the Chiss descendancy, or that. All right. Disney don't care. They mistakenly thought they could just do their Star Wars. Turns out they didn't know Sith about Star Wars. And you know what? It was coming. This retcon, no matter how soft reboot this is or not, it was an inevitable. It was basically going to happen. It was going to happen. And but again, we didn't realize that the extent of it, and that they were going to go ahead and break the foundation of Star Wars for their creative freedom. They should have just done away with the movies as well then, right? And just started new, or just ignored the movies as a whole and just started new. I think after Rise of Skywalker being such a fiasco, Disney will bury and change directions if they want to make money. Oh yeah, they're going to change directions, and that's what they're doing. But they also stated that they are going to do episode 10. So if you haven't seen that news, so they don't know what the hell they're doing. Really, they don't know, because they say, "Oh, we're not going to do a trilogy anymore," but now we're going to do it. But no, we're not. But yes, we are. So right now they're bracing. Right now they're bracing for what the fans have to say about this. All their toxic fans' lives are over now. Oh, you know what? Now that this is all coming out, I am getting trolls and shills on my Twitter right now, and I've had to either mute people or block them right now. And so, like when Disney first acquiesced Star Wars, and I was just a spectator on a lot of people's channels and didn't have my channel yet, and I would speak up in favor of Legends. Oh boy, did I get attacked. And it's coming back again. It's coming back again. Not as strong, but it's still there. I stopped at the Vong saga. I'm so behind. That's okay. Pick it back up. Pick it all back up. I love the direction they went with the Vong. And I know some people didn't, and that's okay. But because they introduced a new villain, and this new villain had nothing to do with the Empire whatsoever. It was out of galaxy that came in. It gave a new threat. It challenged the Jedi. It challenged Force users. It challenged the Republic. It challenged the remnants of the Empire. And so it gave us a whole new look on Star Wars in a direction that can go. That was basically really relatively done well, I believe. So if you haven't read A New Jedi Order, do it. And then we get Ben Skywalker. He's born during that era. All right. I brought a few books recently. Shadows of the Empire, Scoundrels, Tales of Jabba Palace. Oh, awesome. So you need to go ahead and tell me how that goes with your reading. They shoot themselves. I love that. Thank you. Hey, Miss Nerve Herder, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. I seen you commenting in here off and on. I hope that your holidays are going to be good and you're going to have a good time with your family and friends. So we'll go ahead and read. Disney Iger wanted to reboot. That is why they declared EU non-canon in 2012. I guess that's very obvious now with Rise of Skywalker. Yes, it is. And we seen this coming. We seen it coming. All right. Even the splinter of the mind's eye somewhere. Good. Okay. And I still have to do my Mara Jade expansion of her lore as well, and Luke's marriage. I've gotten a lot of backlash from people who are anti-Mara or anti-Luke marrying. And so I want to touch basis on that and do a special character development on her, and also finish Luke Skywalker's lore. And I decided to break it up per era. So what I did is I did the classical era, which consists of the movies. Next is the New Republic era, then the New Jedi Order era, then Legacy of the Force era, and then Legacy or Fate of the Jedi era. And so those I have 4 more to do. So I've already started. So I'm just going to finish the New Republic era of Luke Skywalker's character lore and go from there. So stay tuned on that. I wanted to do him very first because he's basically is our first Skywalker in the whole entire series, even though we had Vader in there. He was the one that, basically everybody fell in love with the first alongside Vader. Yes, of course. And so Anakin will be next. And I want to do Mara Jade as well. Oh no, stop with all the episodes, Disney. Yeah, Abrams is, and we should have known that he was going to do what he's going to do, because look at what he did with Star Trek. I think Disney are too busy watching the $500 million budget episode 9 becoming the biggest bomb of all time. Yes, KK is right. She's not looking into trilogies because she won't be Lucasfilm long enough to see them. Yeah, and we have yet to see that because she did interview about the trilogies as well. All right, so I'm going to begin to wind down here. Grabnov just watched JJ at the premiere here. He's nervous all as heck. He is. Whoops. And that was just very telling when I seen that clip this morning. So I had to share. I'm like, I got to share this with on my live chat. This is epic. Biden touched Soul Assassin. Exactly. Yep. Grabnob on the UK YouTube live stream of the London premiere. They enabled chat and had no moderator. People were in there saying Daisy was on coke and slagging it all off. Wow. Poor Daisy. And see, this is where we're going to get attacked now as fans. Oh, those toxic fans talking about the actors or actresses, putting them down. I may not like a character, doesn't mean that I hate the actor or actress. Miss Nerf Herder, my dad is dying. No holiday for us. I am so sorry. My heart goes out to you, darling. And during this time. Okay. Okay. Hi, happy dinosaur. Happy Christmas to you. Oh, to Biden. Yeah. Biden touch. Yes. Again, thanks for sharing. It's a difficult time. I've talked to another about, getting ready to lose a loved one as well. And it's always tough around this time of year. I lost my grandmother right before Thanksgiving, and she's always been a person that kept our family together and loved to celebrate through food and cooking and all that. And was a great matriarch of our family. And so I know exactly how that feels. JJ is going to Warner Brothers to destroy their franchise. Yes. By Billy. Hi, Billy Russo. How are you doing? I reread backwards after Timothy Zahn's trilogy, reading much Clone Wars books, and enjoyed the Bane trilogy really, really much. Or Hans. Okay, yeah, and Hans trilogy from A.C. Crispin. Yes. And I'm going to say this before we leave. So we're going to wind down here now. I said that a couple times already. Ryan and Lethal Lightning are two of another, EU Legends channels as well. And there's a collaboration with a book reading club for Disney Legends. And we are beginning to read the Darth Bane trilogy. So if you have those books, start reading. If you read them before, just read them again to refresh your memory on the books. And once I get the date, and I'll go look for it on when that review on live stream is going to happen, you can join in. You can join in on the chat, express what you loved about it, all that. This is a collaboration to keep Legends in the limelight and the interest for classic Star Wars in the limelight. What I do is I review lore books or whatever and post it Tuesday. And then we expand on it in the coffee chat here. And so it's a little bit more quicker. That's why I recommend Audible all the time. So, but what we do, and I join in with their review, their book club as well. But what we are doing is keeping the interest of Legends. There we go. To Miss Nerf Herder. Oops. To Miss Nerf Herder. This is all going out to you, darling. All right. So yeah. So take your time, Miss Nerf Herder. And you're more than welcome to participate in these chats once you're ready. Just let me know how everything's going with you. On Twitter or whatever. Losing someone, it's always difficult to see them go, and so you have a lot of support here, darling. I hear Darth Bane is amazing. It is. So yes, again, I'm going to close here. Cheers to you guys here on a nice Thursday morning here. Go ahead and, go see Miss Nerf Herder on Twitter, and just continue to support her as well. And anybody else, holidays can be rough as well. And just showing that support helps ease that sometimes. And go ahead and pick up the Darth Bane trilogy as well. Pick up the book 2 of the Mandalorian Wars. Get started on that. Get the Audible. We're going to I'm going to post the lore review of it Tuesday. We are going to expand on it Thursday. Wait, you know what? We have the holidays coming up. So let's rewind. Okay. I'm still going to post the lore Tuesday. And I might still do the chat Thursday because Christmas falls right in between. Yeah, so I'll still keep that. So whoever comes in, and if I don't get anybody in, I understand because it is the holidays and everybody's busy, especially the day after. So that's my schedule. If I have to reschedule or I decide to reschedule, I will announce it on Twitter and I will announce it here on Facebook as well, or on Facebook, geez, on YouTube. All right. So I'm going to close here, you guys. Have a great day. May the force be with you. If you go watch the movies, comment to me on Facebook or DM me, or not Facebook, geez, on Twitter. Twitter is my Star Wars channel, my Star Wars social media thing. So DM me or tag me into your Twitter about what you think about it, about your own review. And let's have a conversation about that, and I will continue to post Legends stuff on Twitter as well and expand on some characters as well. And so you guys have a great day. May the force be with you. Thank you guys for all coming.